Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. A reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 12. The chapter is titled as Killing of Demon Aghasura. So today we are seeing few verses because there is no purport for many verses, so we'll continue. First is text 40. Sri Shuta Uvacha It. No, you'll repeat when there is purport, I will let you know. Sri Shuta Uvacha Ittam Dvija Yadavanev Dattaha Shutva Swaratus Charitram Vichitram Prapacha Bhuyobi Apite Dayeva Punyam Vaishakyam Yan Nigritta Chetaha. Sri Suta Goswami said, O learned saints, the childhood pastimes of Sri Krishna are very wonderful. Maharaja Parikshit, after hearing about those pastimes of Krishna, who had saved him in the womb of his mother, became steady in his mind and again inquired from Sukadev Goswami to hear about those pious activities. Text 41. Sri Rajo Vacha Brahman Kalantara Kritam Tad Kalinam Katam Bhavet Yat Kaumara Hari Kritam Jagur Pauganda Arbakaha. Maharaja Parikshit inquired, O great sage, how could things done in the past have been described as being done at the present? Lord Sri Krishna performed this pastime of killing Aghasura during his Kaumara age. How then, during his Pauganda age, could be boys have described this incident as having happened recently? We will see the next verse only. So, text 32, Tad Pruhi me Mahayogin Param Kautulyaham Guruhu Noonam Yadharer Eva Maya Bhavati Anyataha. O greatest yogi, my spiritual master, kindly describe why this happened. I am very much curious to know about. I think that it was nothing but another illusion due to Krishna. The purport is here, Krishna has many potencies. Parastya Shaktir Vividaya Shruyate. The description of Aghasura was disclosed after 1 year. Some act of Krishna's potency must have been involved. Therefore, Maharaja Parikshit was very curious to know about this, and he requested Sukadev Goswami to explain it. Now, text 43, we cannot repeat. Vayam Danyatamaha Loke Guru Api Shatradvandavaha Vayam Pibamaha Muhuhu Tvattaha Punyam Krishna Katamritam Vayam Danyatma Loke Vayam Danyatama Loke Guru Rapikshatra Bandavaha Guru Pishatra Bandavaha Vayam Pibama Muhustvataha Vayam Pibamo Muhustvataha Punyam Krishna Kata Amritam Punyam Krishna Kata Amritam Vayam Danyattamaloke Guru Rapikshatra Bandavaha Vayam Pibama Muhustvataha Punyam Krishna Kata Amritam. Tajis. Vayam, we are, Danyatama, most glorified, Loke, in this world, Guru, O my Lord, my spiritual master, Api, although, Kshatrabandavaha, the lowest of the Kshatriyas, because we did not act like Kshatriyas. Vayam, we are, Pibamaha, drinking, Muhuhu, always, Tvattaha, from you, Punyam, pious, Krishna Katha Amritam, the nectar of Krishna Katha. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, founder Acharya of ISKCON. Translation. O my Lord, my spiritual master, although we are the lowest of Kshatriyas, we are glorified and benefited because we have the opportunity of always hearing from you the nectar of the pious activities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Purport. The pious activities of Supreme Personality of Godhead are very confidential. It is not ordinarily possible to hear such activities unless one is very, very fortunate. Parikshit Maharaj placed himself as Kshatrabandhava, which means the lowest of the Kshatriyas. The qualities of Kshatriya are described in Bhagavad Gita, and although the general quality of the Kshatriya is Ishvara Bhavaha, the tendency to rule, a Kshatriya is not supposed to rule over a Brahmana. Thus, Maharaja Parikshit regretted that he had wanted to rule over the Brahmanas and had therefore been cursed. He considered himself the lowest of the Kshatriyas. Dhanam Ishvara Bhavascha Kshatra Karma Subhavavam. There was no doubt that Maharaja Parikshit had the good qualities of a Kshatriya, but as a devotee, he presented himself with submissiveness and humility. As the lowest of Kshatriyas, remembering his act of wrapping a dead serpent around the neck of a Brahmana, a student and the disciple has the right to ask the Guru about any confidential service, and it is the duty of the Guru to explain these confidential matters to his disciple. I will also read the last verse of the chapter, text 44. Ittam sma prishtasa badaranyas tat smarananta hrita kilendriyaha krichat punar labda bahir trishishaner pratyahattam bhagavatottamaha. Translation. Sutta Goswami said, O Shaunaka, greatest of saints and devotees, when Maharaja Parikshit inquired from Sukadev Goswami in this way, Sukadev Goswami, immediately remembering subject matters about Krishna within the core of his heart, externally lost contact with the actions of his senses. Thereafter, with great difficulty, he revived his external sensory perception and began to speak to Maharaja Parikshit about Krishna Katha. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport of the 10th canto, 12th chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled Killing of Demon Aghasura. Namo Vishnupataya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vikas Swaminiti Namine. Namo Vishnupataya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Prachar Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyadadeshtarne. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Vayam Danyatamaloke, Gurorapi Shatrabandavaha, Vayam Pibamo Muhustvatah, Punyam Krishna Katamritam. The translation again. O my Lord, my spiritual master, although we are the lowest of Kshatriyas, we are glorified and benefited because we have the opportunity of always hearing from you the nectar of the pious activities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Hare Krishna. So we are concluding this chapter 12 of the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. And the entire chapter had a detailed description of this nectarian pastime of Lord Krishna of killing this Aghasura. So it's a python story. You know, it was a big python, and how the python actually, the Asura, Aghasura, concealed himself to be a python, and the objective of, you know, killing all the friends, and also mainly to kill Krishna as well. So the pastimes of, as here Maharaja Parikshit concludes in the previous verse which we saw, that, you know, the entire pastime of Lord Krishna is, you know, it's not boring. It's not a kind of activity that, okay, it happened yesterday, something will happen tomorrow, let us conclude. So it's a never-ending nectarian pastimes. Each day it is different. Each day a new Asura comes. Each day how Krishna deals with him is completely different. And there is no dearth to this wonderful pastimes, even for devotees like us to hear, to understand, to always remember him. So that's why Maharaja Parikshit says that we are very, very fortunate that, you know, we are able to hear such nectarian pastimes. You know, the pastimes of Krishna appears to be nectarian only to devotees. The problem with the non-devotees, or the problem with the atheist, is that either they don't have belief in Shastras, neither they don't have belief in Krishna, and so hence the pastimes doesn't look like pastimes, it looks like stories. It looks like, you know, some cocked up story by somebody who wrote up everything, and some men without any, you know, activities to perform are reading and discussing among themselves every day morning. No, this is what they think. But the beautiful thing about this, even this killing of demon Aghasura, is that, you know, how completely the 42nd verse, it comes that, you know, it's only due to the internal potency of Krishna, or the Atma Mayaya, from his own internal potency, he is able to camouflage all these things among his own friends as well. All his boys are going there and enjoying these pastimes of taking the calves for pasturing grounds. And while happening, they encounter a big, wide cave-like a structure. They enter there. They don't know that it's a python's mouth. They all enter. And Krishna, obviously, he is, you know, Sarvagnya. He knows everything, what is happening there. But still, for the beauty of the pastimes, he keeps quiet till all the people enter into that mouth. And later, what he does, that, you know, by his own prowesses or something, he goes inside, expands himself, and kills the demon. And by a glance, by a simple glance, all his pleasure-giving friends come unhurt, not getting hurt at all outside from the mouth of python. So how it's possible? So that's the beautiful nature of this, you know, these pastimes of Krishna, that, you know, he is able to perform adbhuta activities, that, you know, urukrama, he is called urukrama, that, you know, the activities which are done by Krishna cannot be performed by any normal human being or a normal person. So they're all urukrama. They are, you know, very, very extraordinarily, you know, powerful activities which cannot be even think of in our, you know, in our normal brain. So that is the beauty of this kind of activities which Krishna performed there. And another thing which we also saw in the previous verses, that how fortunate this demon Agasura was, that even though he was a crooked fellow, he wanted to come and kill Krishna. Because he came in contact with the transcendental body of Krishna, he got the Sahyajya Mukti. So how even more, how do you say, is that merciful Krishna is, that even to a person who came to kill him, he awards the greatest boon of liberation. That is the gloriousness of Krishna, that he is willing to give, that because the same thing, that what he was doing, he was always contemplating about Krishna. Same way always, Srila Prabhupada used to say that Kamsa was always thinking about Krishna, not in the way that he wants to serve him, but in a way how to kill him. So his entire day or entire activities was only, his consciousness was completely filled in Krishna consciousness only, but in a negative way. So same way all this, demons, their a single point motive is that how to find Krishna where he is roaming today and how to kill him. So this, to them also, he actually gives them the greatest boon of salvation. And the chapter ends with a beautiful question, which Parikshit Maharaj posed to Sukadeva Goswami, that how come that this Leela, which happened during the Kaumara age of Krishna, and after one long year, it has been explained by his friends to their mothers and to their household people, after they reach the Pauganda stage, that they have become grown up, they have become 6 years old now. The actual Leela happened when he was 5 years old, and the description of killing of Agasura to the all the residents of Vrindavan was done only after 1 year. So why this mystery? Yeah, always there's a mystery. Swarat Charitram Vichitram, that's the word which is used here. Swaratum Charitram Vichitram. So Swarat, he is Swarat. He is independent. His Charitra is also Vichitra. His Charitra is always Vichitra. He is a mystery. How to unsolve this mystery. And how to unsolve this mystery is, can be unsolved by only two people. One, Krishna himself explains, or yes, authorized representatives, acharyas comes and explains to us that how this mystery happened, why this mystery happened, and how it was all, unraveling over a period of time. So that's another thing that, immediately he says, Parikshit Maharaj says that it is, full of, it's punya. To hear this Vichitram, this Charitram Vichitram is full of punya. Shrinvatam Swakata Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana. That the Swakata Krishna's Krata is, one who is able to hear it, one who is willing to hear it. Even to come to the stage of hearing the pastimes of Krishna, you should have been completely nullified by all sinful activities. And even if you have come there, still it's going to be full of pious activities to even continue hearing him. So this is our greatest thing, that we are also very fortunate under the auspices of Srila Prabhupada, that every day we are able to hear this wonderful pastimes of Krishna, and also imbibe in our memory about this nectarian pastimes. And who is our role model in all these activities? It's of course Parikshit Maharaj. He has this, what is that word used here is Nigrita Chetaha. In one of the, it came Nigrita Chetaha. That he was very steady. He was very steady in hearing these pastimes. He was not, having some, some unwavering mind, wavering mind that, he was thinking something else for some time. No, it is Nigrita Chetaha. It is always fixed. Entire 7 days, there was not even a single moment that, his consciousness wavered from hearing these pastimes of Krishna. So, this, we are also in his footsteps, in footsteps of Parikshit Maharaj, that we should also be eagerly, steady in hearing this pastimes of Krishna with a submissive mood. And the not only steadiness is important, the other thing is also that eagerness. And what he puts, another word, beautiful word, is Param Kutuhalam Guru. So the same word comes in Tamil also, Kutuhalam, we call it. It's called eagerness, Param Kutuhalam. It's a most eagerness. I am most eager. And Guru, my spiritual master, please unravel this mystery to me. I am very, very eager. So the spiritual master Srila Prabhupada writes in this purport that, the guru, the disciple has the right to ask the guru about any confidential matter. And it is the duty of the guru to explain this confidential matter to the disciple. So, if the disciple is very eager, if the disciple is showing the kutuhalam, eagerness, then the guru is also very much pleased that, the disciple is very much eager to hear the pastimes of Krishna. And let me also explain to him in detail. If we are not eager, then the guru is not going to explain. Then it will be all vichitram. It will be all, mystery to us. And, we will not be able to connect the dots. We will not be able to understand why it happened, how it happened. So, the most important thing here is that, we have to be most eager. Submissively, Srila Prabhupada writes here that because Maharaj Parishit was eager, submissive, and also he was, steady in his consciousness to hear the pastimes. The entire pastimes of this, all the pastimes, in fact, of what we hear from 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam was, explained by Sukadev Goswami to him very, very in a detailed manner. And the other verse which we read today, it also explains that, how this, most of the time how Krishna's activities which we see in this entire pastimes are done by his Atma Maya, by his internal potency. By his internal potency, what he does is that, many of these activities are happening automatically. And Srila Prabhupada quotes the example of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When he was, by his own internal potency, he was able to expand himself. And he was physically present in all the Sankirtana groups during the Ratha Yatra. He was present there. And, he was in bliss. He was actually engaged in this, singing the Harinam. And with engaging with all the Sankirtan groups that were doing that Harinam during the Ratha Yatra. And how it was possible? Because it was possible only by his Atma Maya, by his, internal potency. And it automatically happens. It is not that, there was a deep planning behind it. There was some planning, how to do it, how to go there, how to go here. Here also we can see it. Krishna automatically does this. By his strength and by his powers, he automatically does this. And it doesn't need to be, performed with, with ease. We call it with ease, he does that. And, the inconceivable potency of Krishna, he has this unlimited inconceivable potency, and that is why a normal person who is not a devotee of Krishna will not be able to fathom it. And that is why we find scientists and students of this, modern science, they cannot understand many things in this material world. Even though they research very deeply how it functions, how it works. And when they reach to a stage that they are not able to explain that how it's happening, then they say that it is nature's way, nature's law. They give some terminology and try to cover it up, which they don't have answers to it. And this is the same thing that his internal potency is very, very vichitram. It's very deep, very, very deeply mysteryful that how it happens. And so for a normal person, it is very difficult to even understand it. Like a small boy, for a small boy, how he understands that like this gadget is functioning, how this TV is working, or how the electricity comes, or how a car functions. Even some grown-up man, most of the grown-up people does not know that. How it's working. What to think of a small boy. Even that's how it is. We are. Even a grown-up people like us, we cannot understand the vichitram or the internal potency of Krishna. So it's all inconceivable for us. And the example which are given in Smriti, and Srila Prabhupada used to quote this example quite often, that how even the fragrance of a flower, when a fragrance of a flower is being taken by the smelling power of the person, even though the flower and the smelling person is not coming in contact with each other, but still the smelling power of the person and the flower are actually transferring their energy among each other. So this is how, even though they are detached, that's how Krishna does. Here also it is said that only by his glance he brought all the friends outside the mouth, from the inside the mouth of the python. By just a glance, he was able to bring them out. So even though he is not, he is detached, he is not a part of everything, but he is able to do it. And again, one more example which is also quoted is about Ambarish Maharaj, who, he is physically present in his courtyard, he is physically present in his kingdom, but, he is completely in the consciousness of Krishna, he is thinking about Krishna, even though he is sitting in his darbar. And all the work are been taken care by his ministers. But his physical presence is much more needed because the ministers to function. His physical presence is needed. Even though he is physically present, his consciousness is not there. He is, completely detached from all the activities of his kingdom. He was only thinking about Krishna. So in the same way, the complete thing is that the consciousness is completely detached from the activities of what is being performed. And that's how Krishna is able to perform these kind of wonderful pastimes there. And that is the beauty of this entire creation as well. The entire creation, we also see from the second and third canto of Srimad Bhagavatam how this entire creation of this material universe happens. That he is not going and like the entire building is created by a mason. How the mason builds a building, that he goes, picks up a brick, he picks up a mortar, he assembles them. A beautiful wall is built, a beautiful house is built. Like that, this entire universe was not created. The entire universe was created by Maya Dakshena Prakriti Suyate Sacharacharam. That, only by glancing, and everything is Suyate Sacharacharam, even the moving and non-moving are being created. And it's all complete. There is nothing incomplete here. In this entire material creation, there is nothing incomplete. There is a beautiful line which Srila Prabhupada mentions in the introduction to Bhagavad Gita. Introduction to Bhagavad Gita, he writes that this is a complete facility. There is a complete facility for the small complete units, that is our living entities, to realize the complete, and all sorts of incompleteness arises because there is no knowledge of the complete. It's a beautiful statement. What he says is that this entire material universe is a complete facility. There is nothing incomplete here. Even today, if you think about it, whatever this entire universe needs is being provided, or it is available inside the universe. Nothing is being brought outside the universe to function. It's complete unit. And the complete unit is filled with small complete units. That is, we are all small complete units. The living entities are small complete units. And the all small complete units are here in this complete unit, that is this material world, to realize the complete. We are here because we have to realize the complete. And why we are not able, because, and all sorts of problem, all sorts of incompleteness comes because we don't have complete knowledge. Because we don't have complete knowledge of the complete, we are incomplete. So, and what is the complete knowledge? That is Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam. The Acharya's words, the Acharya's commentaries, they are all complete. What we have to know is actually the complete, and we have lost the knowledge of the complete. And that is why we are incomplete now. So it's a beautiful statement that, that it sums up that, there is nothing incomplete in this material world. There is nothing incomplete here. We are also complete. But because of the lack of knowledge, we actually are incomplete now. So the idea behind this entire thing is that, to understand the whole, and we have to understand the whole. If we have to understand the supreme truth, we have to understand the supreme whole, then we have to surrender to him. And then we become complete. On the corollary, that is where the Mayavadi philosophy is incomplete. The Mayavadi philosophy, what it says is that the Supreme Brahman is conscious. The Supreme Brahman is conscious, but how he is able to, even though he is conscious, how he is able to actually perform various activities by his multifarious energies, that they don't know. How various energies are performing, how various activities are being done, how it's all happening, that they cannot explain. And that is the incompleteness of their philosophy as well, because they don't understand the complete. They don't know who the complete is. They don't know Krishna is complete person. And that is where the entire devoidness of their philosophy, and they are also not able to understand anything. So the thing is also that Krishna is not, going to show himself to them. Naham prakasha sarvasya yogamaya samavrita.
receiving this receiving pastime. And our Acharyas explained that during this entire 7 days, Sukadeva Goswami actually lost consciousness very much. And every now and then, the son of Vasishtha Maharaj, Janamedaya, who wanted to grab the kettle drums and other instruments, and they used to play them loudly to bring them back to consciousness so that he can continue explaining this entire receiving pastime. And here again it is explained that Sukadeva Goswami was one of the greatest technical devotees, lost consciousness because he was thinking about Krishna in his core of his heart. He was remembering the Krishna subject matter in his core of his heart, and he completely lost external consciousness of what is happening and where he is sitting and what he is happening. So the thing is that these pastimes are such blissful for the pure soul that they actually completely forget themselves about where they are, what situation they are in. And that is the beauty of this mysterious pastimes of Lord Krishna. So the chapter ends with this beautiful inquiry from Vasishtha Maharaj that how it happened, this beautiful thing happened. That the killing of demon Aghasura happened in the Kaumara stage when Krishna was 5 years old. And the entire Leela was explained by the boy, by the friends of Lord Krishna to their parents.